we are solving for x. These are rational expressions. Rational basically means it's a fraction. So as you can see, we have fractions here. Usually the technique we want to use on these is we want to clear the fractions. Having the fractions or the denominators here make things more complicated. There's some other techniques about combining them with the denominators, but it's a lot easier if we can clear out the fractions. And the trick is to multiply by the common denominator. If we multiply by the common denominator, what that means is, it's just like if you were adding the 2 and the 3. If you multiply everything by the common denominator, it should make sense that the denominator will go into that multiplier and it will reduce out anything that's on the bottom here. So, what's the common denominator for a 3 and a 2? 6. So we'll multiply, I don't like doing my math on the original problem, we'll multiply both sides by 6. It's the common denominator. So notice, now that I'm multiplying by 6 here, multiply by 6 here, everything gets multiplied by 6. The 2 goes into the 6 3 times, so this reduces, and that turns into a 3. The 3 goes in the 6 2 times. This reduces, and we're left with a 2 on top. Be very careful, all of the top still has that multiplier right here. So, at this time, I have a 2 times 3x minus 6 equals the x plus 6. I can keep it over here, that's fine. So now, instead of having the fractions kind of distract us and trap these, we can just distribute and go from there. Okay, so I'll go ahead and distribute at this time. Make sure you draw arrows. It's really important to keep track of what's being distributed here. So that's a 6x minus 12 equals 3x plus 18. Whenever we're solving, in this case, we want to get x to one side, everything else to the other side. So to get x by itself, I like to think ahead. It's nice to keep x positive. If not, it just means there's negatives floating around. But to keep x positive, I'll subtract 3x from both sides. And I could add 12 to both sides also at this step, but I'll be nice and just slow down. At this time, I want to add 12 to both sides. 3x equals 30. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X equals 10. And then it's nice to check your work on these, so I really encourage you plugging your 10 back in to make sure you get a true statement here. I'll just kind of do it in my head real quick. So 10 plus 6 is 16, divided by 2, so I have 8 on this side, 8 over here. On this side, 10 times 3 is 30, 30 minus 6 is 24, 3 goes into 24 8 times. 8 equals 8, 10 is our solution.